possibly in the Pac-10, along with Cisa Michelli for USC as this season has worn on. She is just dynamic in the middle. There she is.
Mika Wagner wearing number 15 in white. Paul told you a little about her. She's just a sophomore, 6 feet, out of Moreno Valley, California. She's a tremendous athlete.
Yes. Can bomb out of the middle, bouncing the ball in warm-ups like women I haven't seen for a long, long time. And all the Irish players were standing around just watching her bounce the ball.
Trojans stuffed one. Kelly Keebler, number 3, 6 foot, a freshman out of Seal Beach, California. And now Laura Warnock, the 6'2" senior from Salt Lake City, to serve. USC going to have an outstanding team again next year as the Trojans are on the attack. Trojans leading by 1, 2-1, game 1. Peters with the dig. Peters is number 8. She's the quarterback of USC.
Kelly Keebler again bombing from the outside, and both you and I, Chris, talked to Lisa Love before the match. And Lisa Love said Kelly Keebler is coming along as a big-time Pac-10 player, much faster than we had thought she would, and a very pleasant surprise.
Set to the left side, and the punch through the block. USC is into the net, so give the kill to Alicia Turner, a 5'10" senior out of San Diego, California. Debbie Landreth Brown, one of the greatest players in USC history, one of the great players in United States history. A member of the 1980 Olympic team that boycotted. She had a chance to go on to 1984. She said, I just didn't want to keep practicing. I didn't want to go on, and I don't think I missed it. A little tip into the net.
Played for Chuck Irby when she was at USC. That's 8 hours a day, 390 days a year. Then played for Ari Selinger. That's 12 hours a day every day.
400 days a year.
She had played for 25 years. She had just crammed it into 2 years. She played about 6 or 8.
Cisa Pacelli makes the serving error. And Notre Dame will have it. Pacelli, the tallest player in the Pac-10, one of the tallest players in the country, as the Irish will serve. The champs of the Midwestern Conference. Automatic berth for Notre Dame, and this program is really, really moving up. Wagner gets the kill and the side out for the Trojans. USC 19-7, 12-5 in the Pac-10. We chronicle the Trojan losses. Trojans lost to New Mexico early. Stanford, Long Beach State, UCLA once. Washington State, that was one maybe they shouldn't have lost. Stanford, Arizona State, a shocker down in Tempe. And then, of course, UCLA this week. USC.
The loss to Arizona State, even more of a shocker for 2 reasons. One, it was at home, and secondly, they were coming off a great winning streak, 5 matches in a row, had just beaten Nebraska, the number 5 team in the nation, had just beaten Colorado, and then came out flat and paid for it.
Big boom on the left side. Christy Peters out of Solana Beach, California. She has led the Irish 14 times in kills, and you can see why. She is a pounder on the left. Look for Feeblecorn, number 11, and Christy Peters, number 13, to do most of the kill work. 5-1 USC out early. What does Notre Dame have to do? Pressure USC?
Yeah, I think come out and play very, very loose. They need to serve the ball really tough, and they have not been doing that at the start. They got to get on Kelly Keebler, the freshman receiver for USC, and really move her around. Not serve some of the other players, particularly Katie Haller for USC.
Christy Peters gets her second kill. Most of the time, teams will serve Kelly Keebler as Lisa Love will serve it up.
Notre Dame, a pretty good side-out team if they control the ball well, but they continue to serve the ball right up the middle at this point. And USC is going to have no problems, whether it be Keebler or Katie Haller, passing the ball that's served up the middle. You got to serve lines, you got to serve corners, you got to serve short.
Kill leaders in the Pac-10, Natalie Williams, then Cisa Pacelli. So Pacelli's having a great year, number 5. As Peters whips it left side to Haller, and she puts it away. Katie Haller thumping it down, her 3rd kill. Haller out of Bakersfield, California. And a timeout taken by the Irish. Irish going to need some luck in this one. Debbie Brown's team off very slowly, trailing 6-1.
Goes around the defender. What a play. The crowd goes crazy. It looks like he's going way down court, hoping to catch a man under the bat. What the? Did you see that? That ball's out of here. Prime Ticket. Sports TV that hits home.
Do you know?
Yeah. That what most people don't know about AIDS is still a video. Time Out. The truth about HIV, AIDS, and you. It's filled with facts
And fun.
and a lot of hot folks too, but most of all stuff that could save your life.
If you got unprotected sex,
Help!
Still feel safe?
Time Out.
rent one free at participating video stores.
HIV, AIDS, and you. If you don't know, get the video.
Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland back live at the Lions Center. The Lions Center jumping tonight. The Irish and the Trojans starting off the weekend rivalry. Tomorrow it's football, but tonight it's volleyball, and USC led by Sue Peters, 6-foot senior out of Hacienda Heights, and the Trojans turning it on. Notre Dame right at the moment. Talk about Notre Dame, kind of a soft schedule, but it's a program that is definitely on the way up. A couple of years ago, Art Lambert had the team 9-27. Then Debbie Brown came in and turned it completely around, Paul.
Well, since then, they went 26-10 last year, just missed going to the NCAA tournament. Their strength of schedule probably hurt them in that case, and then so far this year, of course, they're 30-6. So this is a program and a coaching staff. Steve Schlick is Debbie Brown's assistant. He was her assistant at Arizona State University, so a very good combination. And Dennis Brown, Debbie Brown's husband, who is a writer and has traveled with Debbie everywhere she has gone throughout her volleyball sojourn, and now works for Notre Dame University promotions and publicity department, says, look, can't tell you who they are, can't tell you where they're from, but we have signed 4 great recruits. Maybe he's just jockeying for a position here as well, doing his job as a publicity director.
That's what all the coaches say. Katie Haller with the serve. It's 7-1 USC here in game 1. X-play, another block for USC. USC with one of its tallest teams of all time. Up front, Laura Warnock and Cisa Pacelli.
Not likely that the Irish have seen too many blocks like USC's throughout the course of this season. Pacelli big, Warnock at 6'2", Kelly Keebler playing good defense, having to take the extra step, hitting a very good little roll shot into the unprotected middle of the court just to get a side out.
Substitution for the Irish, Brett Hensel, 5'10", freshman from Rancho Santa Fe, California, is in. A very good defensive player. They call her the Dynamo, another Californian on this roster. She comes in for Cragen.
The first really tough serve delivery.
And the block for contacts called. Our first referee, Verna Klubnikin, tonight. And our second referee is Terry Lawton. Shelley taped up to the max, tape all over her. Most international players have a lot of tape. Fingers, wrists, the whole works. 8-2 USC here in game 1. The Irish ranked number 22. USC is ranked 11th.
Again into the middle. That ball is down. Yeah, that's a good call by Verna Klubnikin, and Katie Haller and Sue Peters are going to challenge. But this ball was down. Notre Dame finding some spots in the middle of the court. Lisa Love going to try to make an adjustment to what she's doing defensively. This ball is set too low into the middle. Middle hitter makes the good save. Feeblecorn able to make the good save, and then USC coming right back with another side out.
Laura Warnock, 154 kills, make it 155 out of Salt Lake City.
Serving the ball short. Got to move the ball around.
Carlin, no, spectacular dig by Haller, and it's put away by Wagner. So Katie Haller, who has a Pac-10 best 36 digs in one game this year, spears another one.
Katie Haller and her backcourt mate, who plays opposite Kelly Keebler, are ranked number 1 and 2 in the Pac-10 in defense. So that's a great pair. Warnock not making the chase defensively out of the middle back.
Nice shot by Alicia Turner. She's got 4 kills, a stabilizer. Solid player, in and out of the lineup this year. She's a good defensive player also. She had 24 digs earlier against Louisville.
Notre Dame starting to serve the ball tougher. You can bet Debbie Brown did exactly that during the timeout. Serve tough, block a few balls, we'll get back into this match.
Feeblecorn stuffs one. Number 11 in blue.
Kelly Keebler's been playing awfully well, but Feeblecorn doing an excellent job filling the middle seam and then getting hands over the net, blocking the ball.
Serve just wide, and the Trojans will have it. USC 23-8 last year. They were knocked out of the NCAA tournament December 12th when Stanford beat them 3-2 in the NCAA playoffs. So, substitution coming for the Trojans, Missy McCaw, junior setter out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She'll be the starter next year, but she and Sue Peters really dividing the setting duties, and that's why Peters has been in there, number 8 White. She's a better blocker.
Bigger, a better blocker, also plays on the basketball team. And Sue Peters, in spite of the good performance by Missy McCaw against Nebraska and Colorado, got the start against UCLA for exactly that reason, to get a little bigger.
Look out. Kaboomski, as Jessica Feeblecorn puts it away. She leads all-time in digs at Notre Dame, 2nd in aces, 2nd in kills, 3rd in attempts, 5th in hitting percentage, 4th in solos, 3rd in assists, 3rd in total blocks. Sounds like a Sunderland resume over at Loyola.
And she was also Player of the Year in the Midwestern Collegiate Conference.
Mika Wagner doing her thing. She's hitting .283 this year, which is kind of low, I think, for a middle attacker. When she eliminates the errors, that'll go way
made
up.
a lot of hitting errors the beginning of the season when she and Sue Peters were not connecting well at all. But now the confidence and timing is there. And I think if you would look at the second half of the season as opposed to the first, she's probably up in 350, 360 range.
Good shot by Christy Peters. All tournament selection in the Midwestern Collegiate Conference. And a short serve by Janelle Carlin, another Californian from El Toro, the same city that has given volleyball Lane Young. Little dink. Did SC touch it? No. And the Trojans will have the ball. Trojans leading here game 1, 10-4. Irish got off to a slow start, been pecking away just a bit, but USC in command. Wagner, that one spins out of bounds.
Bad concentration on that serve from Mika Wagner. She never really took her time, got back, ready, and set. Just like shooting free throws, the game is in your hands at that point. You got to concentrate better.
Lisa Love, who once coached at the University of Texas Arlington in 1988. NCAA Coach of the Year. Little dink shot, scooped up nicely, but the Irish can't bring it over, so give Haller the kill. Haller at 3.96 grade point average at USC. I was going through their football. They have a lot of smart players on this USC team.
Laura Euste is also way up there
Yeah.
in chemical engineering or something like that would just scare me away, let alone take a few classes.
And into the net, trying the backslide, trying to get out was Marilyn Cragen out of Rancho Palos Verdes, California, and Debbie Brown going to take time out. Trojans looking good here in game 1. We'll continue with our coverage. More live volleyball after this.
Do you want your car done right?
Ein sehr gut entwickeltes System für einen Ölwechsel.
現代的なオイルチェンジの方法はジッピーループを使うことです。ジッピーループ is sehr efficient.
ジフィループを思いつくべきだった。
That's a very good reason to bring your car to Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
Sports World Network is proud to offer our sports product and travel show to satisfy your Christmas shopping needs. On Saturday, November 28th at 7:30 a.m. and Sunday, November 29th at 2:30 p.m. local time, right here on Prime Ticket. Tune in to Sports World Network for your shopping pleasure. The finest in quality sporting goods and travel is coming your way, right here on Prime Ticket. Saturday, November 28th at 7:30 a.m. and Sunday, November 29th, 2:30 p.m. local time.
A reminder, tonight at 10 p.m., watch Press Box for all the scoop scores, the highlights, the interviews, and more on Press Box Sports Nightly News at 10 p.m. only on Prime Ticket. Sports TV that hits home. Debbie Brown, we talked about her greatness as a player on the greatest team of all time. And collegiately, 1977, the USC Trojans, Debbie Landreth Brown, Green Place, Woodstra, Ludke, and Clark. Everybody on that team was an All-American.
They were 38-0, won the national championship the year before with a little bit different mix, but that team in 1977 was special.
And 5 players that went on to play on Olympic teams, including Carolyn Becker, who
was a reserve backup setter to Debbie Green all the way through to the 80 Olympic team.
Debbie Brown going to make a substitution now. Shannon Tuttle, freshman, 5'10", from Sherman Oaks, California.
I think that's a good switch. We'd heard so much about Janelle Carlin being so solid and so steady. I thought she'd made 7 or 8 fairly clear-cut setting mistakes at the beginning of this match and was wondering if Debbie Brown would make the setting switch this early going to the freshman.
Well, Tuttle is stoked. She played collegiate, I should say not collegiately, her junior volleyball at Zuma Bay Volleyball Club, which is just across the way here in Los Angeles, California.
And if I may, went to Mild High School, so she must be very, very good.
Notre Dame High School out in Sherman Oaks. So Tuttle now running the team, number 10 in blue. We'll see how she does. She went to the middle right away, which I like as a setter.
It's an aggressive move. You come off the bench, you set the middle, you take control. You're showing the entire team that you have confidence to set any ball. You set the ball quick when you come off the bench.
Katie Haller to put the ball in play.
Shank.
Ace. Give Haller the ace now 14-5, and it brings us to our first game point. USC out of the Pac-10, trying to lock up game one. Best 3 out of 5. Quick set, blocked. Irish going to take another whack at it. They'll feed it to Turner, and she zips it through there. Pretty good shot by Alicia Turner.
Notre Dame got to do 3 things. Serve the ball much tougher. They tried to do that for a little while. Didn't stay with it. They've got to find one hot hitter on the left or out of the middle. They've got to pass better as well. They're not rallying the ball at all with USC. Rallies have been very short. Notre Dame not playing much defense.
Hansel had the serve, and a pretty nice set by Sue Peters, backing it over to Bocelli. Little tip shot, and USC's second game point. The serve by Laura Warnock. And the Irish look very, very tentative as they loop the ball into the bottom of the net. So good first game for the USC Trojans. The Trojans on a 2-game losing streak, 2-match losing streak, I should say, but they win game 1 over the Irish 15-5. We'll continue more volleyball coming up after this.
Secret ingredient that gives Diet Pepsi an unfair advantage.
Uh-huh.
Well, what is it?
It's like this, baby. You know it's uh-huh, 'cause the taste says uh-huh, baby. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You got the right one, baby.
With 100% uh-huh.
Quarter Horse and Arabian Racing is back at Los Alamitos. This week we offer special Wednesday night racing when we also give away a new 1992 Jeep Cherokee. No racing on Thanksgiving night, but racing resumes Friday night with a special appearance by the famous Chicken. Plus, we're giving away another new Jeep Cherokee on Friday night and on Saturday night, too. You can also watch and wager on Quarter Horse and Arabian Racing at Hollywood Park and 16 other satellite locations. First race on weeknights, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. on weekends.
The world's oceans are losing their fight to survive. Hi, I'm Gregory Harrison from the Surfrider Foundation. Did you know that last year over 2,000 U.S. beaches were closed when pollution and raw sewage threatened human health? Well, now you can do something about it. Join the Surfrider Foundation and help protect our coastal waters. Call 1-800-743-SURF right now. Become a Surfrider member and learn how you can join Surfrider's new ocean water testing program, the Blue Water Task Force. After all, it's your beach.
Back live at the Lions Center, short work. USC over Notre Dame in game 1, 15-5. Hi, Chris Marlowe back with Paul Sunderland. A whitewash for the Trojans in this last regular season game of the year. It's an important game for both teams. They're both trying to establish themselves in the rankings.
Well, USC has played a very tough schedule. Everybody knows who they are. Notre Dame, on the other hand, a lot of question marks, although they are currently ranked as the 4th best team in the Mideast region. Everybody knows about Illinois. Nebraska we saw last week. They were ranked 5th nationally. Penn State, very, very good. Notre Dame wants to stay in that number 4 spot so they can host, most likely, Colorado in the first round of the NCAA playoffs. Out west, a little bit different story. UCLA will certainly be the number 1 seed in the entire tournament, but Stanford may leave the region because they are in the same conference, ranked number 1 and 2 in the nation. That would move BYU up, that would move USC up, that would move everybody up. A team like Cal State Northridge who right now is a little bit on the bubble and has beaten this same Notre Dame team, could move up and qualify for that last spot in the Western Region. It'll be great to see them in the tournament once again. Walt Kerr done an awful lot of work to build that program out there.
And, of course, the question, where is Stanford going to go? Well, all kinds of speculation. We think the Mid-East, but they could go south, and there's even a scenario that has them going to the Northwest.
Well, the Northwest, year in, year out, has been one of the great conferences in the country, along, of course, with the Pac-10 in the Western Region, with the likes of Pacific, Hawaii, and San Jose State, and so many others, of course, Long Beach State. But this year, the Northwest region is just not very strong. But I think that they're going to send Stanford probably to the Southeast Conference. Because they think overall that is the weakest conference.
If Stanford goes to the Northwest,
Don Shaw.
I want to see it when Brian Gimolaro, Kathy Gregory, and John Dunning get the news. I want to see those three.
Hey, Don Shaw doesn't want to go there either.
All right, here we go. Game 2. A little bit of the national flavor. USC ranked 4th in the region and looking very, very strong. You know, USC has played well down the stretch. In Game 1, hitting errors the story. If you don't hit the ball in, you're dead.
Well, USC blocking the ball pretty well, and I talked about Notre Dame having to do 3 things. Find one hot hitter who can get Notre Dame into a comfortable side-out streak. They've been shanking the ball all over the Lions Center and can't find anybody to put the ball away, although Christy Peters hammering the ball out of the back row. You've got to find somebody who can put the ball away.
SC has the ball. USC in white uniforms. Oh, the big glass by Katie Haller going cross-court. Basketball, track, and volleyball as a senior at Bakersfield High.
We heard that Katie Haller was putting a lot of pressure on herself to improve her left side hitting. Looks very, very good right now, but that's a key, particularly in women's volleyball. You have to have players who don't get stuffed on the left side. Laura Warnock, 6 foot plus, Cisa Bocelli, 6'5", big wall.
One of the
against the Irish.
Problems right now, besides blocks, 6-1 USC. The passing right there, passing into the bench, and Debbie Brown, the head coach, has to make a substitution. If he can't pass, he can't play. And a sub coming in.
And if you want to play for Debbie Brown, who had some of the most meticulous ball handling of any player ever for the United States, you better be able to pass the ball.
Nicole Coates is in, 5'7", sophomore from Princeton, Illinois. Good pass. She's a little shorter. And as is the case in a lot of volleyball, the shorter players are usually the good passers and the good defensive players. And the bigger you get, the worse you are. That ball hit out of bounds. Timeout Irish. So USC controlling the line of scrimmage right now. 1-0 and 5-zip.
That ball's out of here. Prime Ticket. Sports TV that hits home. It's a showdown at the Great Western Forum Sunday as the Dallas Mavericks ride in for a shootout with the Lakers. Don't miss it. Sunday live at 7:30, only on Prime Ticket. Sports TV that hits home.
The college basketball season is right around the corner, and you can catch USC basketball action right here on Prime Ticket starting Tuesday, December 1st at 10:30 p.m. The Trojans in San Francisco State, only on Prime Ticket, sports TV that hits home. You'll be at that game. Trojans going to be good in basketball?
Not like last year. Last year was a magic carpet ride, but they're going to be a lot better than people think. Rodney Chapman's going to be a big-time scorer. Phil Glenn at the point. They got some great young players in Dan Bowie, and I keep hearing so much about David Krause. Big center, only a freshman. They've got several other players coming back, should give them a lot of depth, and George Raveling has kind of built a monster down here. USC known around the country now as at least the hardest playing team on the West Coast.
5-0 is our score here in Game 2. It has been all USC. USC out-hitting, out-blocking, out-digging the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Irish come in with a glossy record, 30-6. They are undefeated in the Midwestern Collegiate Conference. as Brett Hensel comes in now, you're thinking to yourself, what is the Midwestern Collegiate Conference? Notre Dame, Butler, Dayton, Duquesne, Evansville, LaSalle, Loyola, and Xavier. Teams that are getting better. Volleyball improving, certainly in the Midwest region. A lot of good players in that area,
Well,
lots of recruits.
Lots of players to go around, but are any of those teams ranked in the top 25 or even 50 for that matter?
They would say not yet.
No, not yet. Absolutely. They're still competing for talent with everybody in that part of the country, primarily the Big 8, certainly the Big 10, and the Southeast Conference is reaching up into the Midwest and attracting a lot of players.
Serving is Nicole Coates. Jump serve, don't see that very often in women's volleyball.
And a pretty good one.
Off the top, Irish, chance to score a point. Dink, rejected. Left side. And a good shot there. Down the line, turning it, Christy Peters. So Peters recedes for her 4th kill.
I'm not sure if Notre Dame has the firepower. Another low set out of the middle. Both Notre Dame setters not getting the ball up to Feeblecorn high enough. I'm not sure Notre Dame has the firepower to compete. So what they must do is serve tougher, which they're doing now, bringing in the jump serve and play some good defense.
Wagner blocked. And Wagner cranks. Mika Wagner.
Maybe get me once on the quick set. Look at the confidence Mika Wagner is playing with now. Big smile on her face, no problem, only a sophomore. She's going to be a star next year in the Pac-10.
Up in kills. She took over, really, in the slot vacated by Stephanie Bodison, who was such a terrific player for the Trojans. She's going to be better than Bodison, I can tell you right now. She has the potential to be one of the great ones in college. Little tip shot. Nicely done by Kelly Keebler. Keebler, a Fab 50 pick coming out of Los Alamitos High School, and as Paul mentioned, a lot better than everybody thought, including Lisa Love.
Well, a lot of people that tried to recruit her didn't think that Keebler would have that much of an impact on the Pac-10. She's a number 2 in the conference defensively, and she's getting a lot of pressure in terms of serve reception. Nobody wants to serve Katie Haller, so she's always a target, playing very well.
Christy Peters looking around, finding she got a kill. It's 6-1. USC really pressuring. Nice block in the middle. Cynthia May. May stuffs one down. She's 5'11". The middle blocker is still a little small for Notre Dame. 5'10" and 5'11". And
yeah, this day and age, that's pint size.
Yeah. A serve, nicely done. Give the ace to Jessica Feeblecorn. Feeblecorn also a great defensive player. She has 452 digs so far this year. Feeblecorn, another good rocket. Good pass, left side. Keebler got it.
Sue Peters with a nice set all the way from one sideline completely to the other. Set the ball a long way, make the Notre Dame blockers move a great distance. Could not stop Kelly Keebler on the left.
Keebler, who was interested in volleyball when she first saw a beach tournament at Seal Beach in the southern part of Southern California. Beach volleyball. Liked it so much, she started playing volleyball. Played on the USA Junior National Team this past summer, got some experience, and really has become a factor for USC. Now, this is a USC team, Paul, quite frankly, if you put them in another region, they could be in the Final Four.
Well, they just beat Nebraska. Nebraska, a perennial power, handled them at the John Paul Mitchell Classic at UCLA a week or so ago and played extremely well, beat Colorado.
Wagner.
Arizona State, another team in the Pac-10 that's really moving up. Washington State has improved over the last couple of years with not the demise, certainly, but with the fall off of the Big West Conference this year. Injuries at Hawaii and some of the other schools not panning out quite so well. The Pac-10 has just dominated college volleyball.
Little inside play, and Peters. That was a nice set. Give credit to Shannon Tuttle, the freshman running the left inside. 7 kills now for Christy Peters. She has been by far the most effective Irish player. Turner has 5, but everybody else down 1-2. Not a lot of balance so far. Things can change. Haller, chance for an Irish point. They trail 7-3. They need 7-4, and they get it.
Finally, a good transition play. Nice deflection off the block. Good free ball play, and then Shannon Tuttle with a nice dish back over her head. And some emotion. It's the first real sign of enthusiasm we've seen out of Notre Dame since they got spanked in game 1.
You saw the USC head coach, Lisa Love, confident, but a look of concern now starting to creep up on her face. And she's going to put Cisa Bocelli back in.
Warnock coming to hit the three, and this is just Sue Peters missing connection.
Bad set. Her hands were a little too low. Ball squirted out high.
Got to get down lower there, hold on to the ball a little bit longer, and give Warnock a chance to get in the air, be a bigger target.
And Haller pops it off the block. Haller has 8 kills, and Sue Peters, who averaged 2.5 points on the USC women's basketball team. USC team, great year last year, 23-8. Most players back this year, and they're picked as one of the top teams in the country by a number of basketball magazines.
Stanford, very good, obviously.
Yes.
In the Pac-10, UCLA coming back. Natalie Williams, someone we're so familiar with, going to be a star in basketball. Not only this year, but next year, you got another year of eligibility in basketball.
Good crank, SC has it. Go left side, Haller looking for kill number 9. She dinks. Looking for kill number 9. She rockets. Katie Haller. 9-5 Trojans reestablishing themselves. Win game 1, Trojans win. Not a good sign for the Fighting Irish on this Friday night. Glad you're with us wherever you are. Live volleyball here on Prime Ticket, the prelude to the big football game tomorrow. Women's volleyball, second time. Nice set. Cynthia May. So 5 will serve 9. Notre Dame wins over Kentucky, New Mexico. Losses to Florida, Long Beach State, 3-zip. Notre Dame also split with Hawaii. Interestingly, on same nights as they get the ace. They won on October 22nd, 3-0. Then they lost the next night on October 23rd, 3-0.
It's a long way from South Bend, Indiana to Honolulu.
Went out
little
surfing,
distractions. Yeah, didn't use that good 30 sun protection and paid for it the next day.
3 service aces for Cynthia May. And Trojans call a timeout. So the Irish starting to pressure Lisa Love's USC squad. Irish within 2.
The world of Makita design. Innovative. Always a leader. So how do you make the best even better? Throw away the key. Makita. It's all the power you need.
Mariel, you're amazing.
Oh, JP, stop it.
No, really, you get to play so many people, yet you're always you.
Well, I do get a lot of help from a terrific hairstylist I trust.
We all know how important that is.
The thing I love is he doesn't make me just look good for the moment. He really takes care of my hair.
I'll bet I know how he does that.
Yes, of course. He only uses Paul Mitchell products, just like I do at home.
Well, I won't argue with that, but I will say this.
Yes, JP?
I still think you're amazing.
Every leprechaun in South Bend has taken a flight here to Los Angeles, California, Notre Dame and USC. I'm Chris Marlowe, my partner, Paul Sunderland. USC won game 1 easily 15-5. USC hanging on here, however, in game 2 as Notre Dame making a run 4 in a row. For the Irish behind the serving of Cynthia May. Could be another point here. It's 9-7, looking for 9-8. Oh, is it in? No!
Out of bounds.
Oh, just missed it. Why?
Big mistake by Cragen from the right side. An important chance to score. Notre Dame back in this match a little bit. USC has been very inconsistent. That's been their Achilles heel. Play very well for a period of time and then kind of disappear. And they have indeed done that.
A BB from Nicole Coates. She's the best server on the team. Plays mostly in the backcourt. Coates number 1. He has 38 service aces. And now Brett Hensel will come in once again. She has 243 digs. So expect her to be rolling around back there. 9-7 Trojans. And into the net. You know, it looks like the Trojans have just had a serious letdown.
Big time letdown. Big Thanksgiving dinner yesterday.
Scored a couple quick touchdowns, and now they're giving it up. Within 1 is Notre Dame.
Serving Mika Wagner. And another setting mistake by Sue Peters.
Now, wait a second.
Yeah, well, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
Get to it.
But number 7, Laura Warnock, as a middle hitter, never, ever do this. Never, ever stop. Setters are taught to be aggressive. Laura Warnock went to sleep there, stopped. You got to jump and be a target.
First tie for Notre Dame. Irish can take the lead. No, they can't dig that one up. 9-9 game 2.
Debbie Brown made a couple of aggressive substitutions. Shannon Tuttle, only a freshman, in for the junior Janelle Carlin. And Lisa Love making some moves now as well. Laura Eust in for Laura Warnock and telling her exactly that. Don't put on the brakes here.
Ooh. Eust was on the All Pac-10 freshman team last year. She's 6'3", a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Had a great year last year, but has been playing behind Warnock. Here's the server that we told you about, Nicole Coates. 38 aces, looking for 39. Good pass. Peters, back set. Shelley looked like she's a little off balance. Yes. Jam at the net.
Smart play.
Good play by Tuttle. 9-9. Trojans looking for Wagner. Nope. Back set. And another dig by the Irish. Oh, spectacular dig, Laura Eust.
Coming in cold and getting dirty right away.
Irish inside, dink. Peters is there. Long rally, big rally. Trojans, Keebler.
First time Notre Dame has kept the ball in play against the Trojans.
Whacking away here. Hammering away. Keebler. Yes. Pride of Seal Beach, Kelly Keebler. You see Kelly in the background.
A sparkling sign, a sparkling pretty sign, and a sparkling performance as a freshman by Kelly Keebler.
Now, Bocelli will go out, and Missy McCaw will come in. McCaw, a junior from Tulsa, played at Bishop Kelly High School in Tulsa. Her brother, of course, Chip, the great setter for Pepperdine's national championship men's volleyball team.
Shannon Tuttle with the dump. I really like Shannon Tuttle as a setter. And
Tuttle's
again,
done well.
We heard a lot about Janelle Carlin. Junior at Notre Dame was supposed to be very good, but it's been Shannon Tuttle who's come in and taken over this team.
9-9 Trojans. And off the block, Kelly Keebler again. 3.6 grade point average. Another talented Trojan in the classroom. All Empire League, all CIF at Los Alamitos High School. Left side. That's a good set. That ball's out of here.
Well, I'll tell you, I like the heat from Christy Peters on the outside. She can play for me anytime. From Solana Beach, California, only a sophomore. She has received 1,111 sets coming into this match, so she's had lots of exercise this year.
And give credit to Shannon Tuttle, the backup setter, who has come in. Wagner and the Trojans are into the net. The Irish have their first lead of the night. 10-9. And a very concerned Lisa Love. This would not help USC in those rankings to lose to Notre Dame. Bocelli back in, McCaw goes out.
I think would knock them down. They just lost to Arizona State. Arizona State is behind them currently in 5th position. If you're the voters, you got to look at a loss like this and to a lower ranked team at home and maybe move Arizona State up. USC loses the home court advantage the first round of the tournament.
They would have to go to Tempe possibly. Haller with the big bomb. Top 4 have option, don't they, Paul, of having home court?
Well, it's not option. They do indeed host first round match.
10-9 Irish playing much, much better here in game 2. And Christy Peters has been delivering. She's calling for the touch, but the Irish aren't going to get this one. And USC will have it. Coming back in, Laura Warnock, senior out of Salt Lake. Peters, number 13. Did you get a touch on this?
I thought so. Looking at the blocker's hands, you cannot tell in that replay, but everybody on Notre Dame's side, and whether there's a touch or not, they always argue for it, but they look very convincing. And remember what I said, serve the ball tougher and find one hot hitter, one woman who can side out. Christy Peters has been that player.
Okay. A 1-point lead for the Irish. Now a 2-point lead for the Irish as Haller double contacts.
USC going to sleep. This has been their problem, and Lisa Love's headache all season long. Dominate Notre Dame 15-5 in game 1, and then come out and just not play at all well in game 2.
Keep in mind that USC had a 9-5 lead, and the Irish have scored 6 points since then to lead 11-9.
Good blocking and defensive rotation for USC. Cisa Bocelli going to block on the right. Warnock in the middle, but does not take advantage by serving the ball out of bounds. When you have good blocking and defensive rotations, and you have some strong rotations and some weak ones, you have to be sure to keep the ball in bounds.
Strong rotation now for the Irish. Here's been the ace woman 3 aces so far. 11-9, Haller. Could be a point for the Irish coming up. 11-9, quick set. Got to take a whack at that one. Feeblecorn dink. Nice dig. Spearing save, Cynthia May. That does not count as a contact. 2 more coming, and the ball going. Laura Warnock. 282 on the year, her percentages.
Nice cut back out of the middle. Notre Dame has continued to rally the ball and play better and better defense as this match has worn along. They receive and serve pretty well, but have been unable to get their star player, Jessica Feeblecorn, into the match offensively. Was setting her too low, too low, too low, and now they get a good set up to her and she gets stuffed. Only 2 kills.
Jessica Feeblecorn, only 2 kills. That's really the story right there. You got to get her the ball somehow. X-play, Mika Wagner dives and digs. Keebler smartly keeps it in play. Left side, Haller with a dig. And the little dink shot. Warnock and the Trojans score a point.
Okay, Warnock made a pretty good decision. Thought about jump setting that ball and said, what am I doing up here? What am I doing up here? And then just tipped the ball into the block. Thinking, right now, I'm going to set this ball. I'm going to look sweet. I'm going to look good. And just tips the ball into the block and scores.
We are tied at 11-all. Game 2, USC won the first. If you like USC athletics, you won't want to miss the USC Sports Magazine show. For highlights, in-depth interviews, and behind-the-scenes action, watch the USC Sports Magazine tonight following Press Box. Only on Prime Ticket, sports TV that hits home.
Well, they will certainly have everything on the USC-Notre Dame matchup. USC, a bitter loss to UCLA last week, and a tough back-to-back contest hosting the Irish.
The Kelly Keebler fans.
Kelly is rad. Well, she hits some radical angles. She digs some radical shots. And if it wasn't for Carrie Wendell up at Stanford, she'd probably be freshman of the year.
Live volleyball from the Lions Center. We are tied at 11. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. USC out of the Pac-10. The Trojans going to finish 3rd in the Pac-10 with a 12-5 record behind Stanford and UCLA. A lot of big matches around the country tonight. Stanford playing UC Santa Barbara up at the Bankers Classic in Stockton. And Stanford, if they win that, then they will have to take on the winner of the Pacific Texas Tech. So conceivably, Stanford has to beat Santa Barbara tonight and beat Pacific tomorrow night in order to hold on to that 2nd seed in the country.
We have both speculated about, well, the good fortune or the intelligence of scheduling such tough competition at the end of your season, because Don Shaw and his team don't need to play anymore. They could stay home, practice, rest, and they would be assured of being the #2 seed in the nation and leaving UCLA's area, but taking some risks.
Back comes Janelle Carlin into the match, #3, replacing the freshman setter. So the Irish trailing by 2. They go to the veteran. She sets right, and the Trojans have it. Peters throws it. Double contact. A throw is either a double contact, right to left hand transfer, or a lift. It sticks in your hands. That was a tough chance.
Yeah, just mangled it. Ball passed too tight to the net. Sue Peters trying to go up and make a play.
Nice pass by Bocelli. They whip it left side to Keebler, and she whacks it over the top. Also a net on the Irish. And the Trojans, once again, will have the ball. USC trying to close out game 2. It's been a struggle. Notre Dame has played much, much better than USC, quite frankly, and honestly, much, much worse. Quick set established. Feeblecorn gets her 3rd kill.
And now big opportunity. Nicole Coates going back to jump serve. Has to score a couple in this service rotation.
Looking for the ace. Badly. Missed that one. It just floated out of her hand and long. But Shelley won a gold medal. Junior South American Championships. Faked you out there for a second. As the ball is zipped by. Brazilian women's national team has never won a gold medal. However, the men can now say they have.
They may well win another one.
Yes.
Average age on the Brazilian men's Olympic championship team, probably about 24.
Yeah.
Mauricio Lima.
A great young players. Pacelli with the bomb. One of many Brazilian stars that have come over and played collegiately. Wagner gets it inside the block. You're going to do Florida. Tell us the Florida lineup in terms of...
It's LSU. Well, we could get to LSU has 3 Brazilians.
Yeah.
Florida has a woman from Germany, a woman from Turkey, and a woman from Brazil. So the SEC is becoming the Conference Internationale.
SC finally gets the game point. And Debbie Brown going to make another substitution. Back out goes the setter Janelle Carlin, and back in the freshman. So Debbie Brown, Notre Dame's head coach, trying to break the momentum of USC. First game point for the Trojans here in game 2. Trojans have responded to the challenge from Notre Dame. Oh, cross-court heat by Christy Peters. 10 kills.
Looks very, very good. Has had a big match. Again, a primary outside hitter all year long for Debbie Brown's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But Feeblecorn back into the match has got to start having some impact. Has been virtually silent.
Molly Stark, number 6, is in the front line to block, and it goes off her hands out of bounds. And the front line sub Stark, a junior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. She's 5'10". And Wagner will try to close out game 2. Good serve. Good pass. Play action left side. Peters. They're not even getting close to Peters. He is just sizzling the pits going cross court.
And shown that she can hammer the ball down the line as well. Just a very hot hitter. Smart coach, also a smart setter, continually getting the ball to Christy Peters on the outside.
That's out. And the Irish creep to 12. 6 seniors on this Notre Dame roster, so it's a fairly experienced team. 14-12, game 2. Let's see how the Irish set up their defense in blue. Quick set again, it's blocked. And the Irish, big play here to pull to within 1. No, they miss it.
Where Notre Dame has had a couple of chances here, and to get even on the road would be a big move for Notre Dame.
Shank, this is for the game. Irish scrambling, no. And that will do it. So, a well-played game for the Irish, but the Trojans, after a little lull, come back to win it 15-12.
Ah, Sundays and pro football. But why not cheer for your team all week long with a Pro Football Fan Pack?
Pro Football Fan Pack?
Yep. You get an official NFL cap, mug, key ring, even a notepad and pen, all with your team's logo.
Whoa, how do I get all this?
Just choose your favorite team, call this toll-free number, and ask for the Pro Football Fan Pack. Your fan pack comes with an NFL-licensed team cap, team mug, team key ring, and a team notepad and pen you can use every day of the week.
Whoa, how much is all this going to cost?
Well, if you bought all of this separately, you could spend $35 or more. But our fan pack is only $19.95.
$19.95 for all this?
Yep.
This is great.
Order your Pro Football Fan Pack now. Get your favorite team's cap, mug, keyring, notepad, and pen. Use your credit card and call 1-800-553-4040 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.85 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. But for faster service, 553-40.
I love tennis, and it's great exercise. But you can burn as many calories walking a little over a mile a day as I can playing tennis 2 hours a week. I learned that from the Wellness Letter, the newsletter on fitness, nutrition, and stress management published by the University of California at Berkeley. Every month, you get the latest medical research on diet and disease prevention to help you live a longer and fuller life. Call now for your free issue, and you'll also receive free the 48-page book, Wellness Made Easy, 101 tips to start you on the wellness path. Call 1-800-448-4479. You'll be billed $15 for 11 more issues. If you're not satisfied, return the bill marked cancel. You keep the free newsletter and the wellness book. Call 1-800-448-4479. That's 1-800-448-4479.
Welcome back live to the Lions Center. USC Trojans lead the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 2-0. Second game was much closer than game 1. Very special guest joining me, an old friend, Debbie Brown, now the head dial. You played Notre Dame. You've been around the dial. You played for the United States. You went and coached at Arizona State. You came back and coached with the national team. Now you're at Notre Dame. What's it like back there?
I absolutely love it. I have not lived in the Midwest before, and now I really like living back there. I love the university. I think it's a great place to work. It's a beautiful campus, and I just think it's a great place to be. I'm really happy there.
All right, let's reminisce just for a second. You played your collegiate volleyball right here at USC, and we're on arguably, Chris and I argue about it all the time, one of the greatest intercollegiate teams of all time, 1977 national champions, 38-0. Talk to us about this team, some of the other members, and how would they do today?
This was definitely a very special team. I think that we were very close. We had real good skills. I guess what you're seeing here is I think that we were good in all skills, good blocking, good defense. I think defense is definitely was our trademark. Just a great group of people, and we had a lot of fun playing the game.
Debbie Green, Sue Woodstra, Lynn Ludke was on that team, Star Clark as well, and Carolyn Becker. 4 of you went on to be Olympians. Unfortunately, not go in 1980. Now, I know that you're in the Midwest now and don't get a chance so much to see this year's UCLA edition, but a lot of talk about how your team of 1977 would do against this year's version of the UCLA Bruins. Give us a little scouting report, and how would the 77 Trojans of Debbie Brown do against the Bruins?
I think the big difference is just in the athletes. I think now are bigger and stronger. The net play is I don't know if it's really stronger. There's just some very athletic females out there. I think at our team we had great skills. I think we could play defense with anybody. So I think as hard as UCLA would hit the ball, maybe we would.
She's dodging the. Who would win?
Well, if we had to play back then, we would. We're kind of old now.
Styles have changed just a little bit.
Definitely have changed. I think it's definitely more, but like I said, I think it was back then, and we were where we could still jump and move around a little bit. I say that we would beat the Bruins.
All right, Debbie Brown can still jump, believe me. Down 2 games to none, would certainly like to make a comeback against her old school and now rival, the USC Trojans. We'll be back live to the Lions Center after a short timeout. Prime ticket coverage of live intercollegiate women's volleyball.
Mariel, you're amazing.
Oh, JP, stop it.
No, really, you get to play so many people, yet you're always you.
Well, I do get a lot of help from a terrific hairstylist, I trust.
We all know how important that is.
The thing I love is he doesn't make me just look good for the moment. He really takes care of my hair.
I'll bet I know how he does that.
Yes, of course. He only uses Paul Mitchell products, just like I do at home.
Well, I won't argue with that, but I will say this.
Yes, JP?
I still think you're amazing.
What kind of room do you need in a van? How about playroom? Workroom? Family room? And most of all, breathing room for 7 adults.
Wow.
And even though it has more room than any minivan, it's still shorter than most mid-sized cars, so it's easy to drive. Introducing the mid-sized Volkswagen Eurovan, the world's biggest van for its size. Experience Farfignugan, only in a Volkswagen. See your Southern California area Volkswagen dealer.
Do you want your car done right?
Ein sehr gut entwickeltes System für einen Ölwechsel.
現代的なオイルチェンジの方法はジフィールブを使うことです。Jiffy Lube is sehr efficient.
That's a very good reason to bring your car to Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
The world's oceans are losing their fight to survive. Hi, I'm Gregory Harrison from the Surfrider Foundation. Did you know that last year over 2,000 U.S. beaches were closed when pollution and raw sewage threatened human health? Well, now you can do something about it. Join the Surfrider Foundation and help protect our coastal waters. Call 1-800-743-SURF right now. Become a Surfrider member and learn how you can join Surfrider's new ocean water testing program, the Blue Water Task Force. After all, it's your beach.
We're back live at the Lions Center on the campus of USC here in Los Angeles, California. USC is leading this volleyball match so far, 15-5, 15-12. The Trojans lead 2 games to none. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. I think if you look at both these teams. Both teams are going to the NCAA tournament. USC just looks like a stronger, more athletic team at this point in time.
Well, when USC is concentrating and hitting on all cylinders, I think they're among the 7, maybe even 8 or 9 best teams in the country. They're currently ranked 11. But when they go to sleep,
yes,
they can be beaten by just about anyone. Have been an inconsistent team, and they've got to get on a roll going into the NCAA tournament. Notre Dame made a big comeback in Game 2, although they did not win. And statistically, this thing tightening up quite a bit, although USC, a big lead offensively and in blocks as well. That's just taller, more physical players. Defensively, very, very even. Notre Dame hanging in there. But look at 18 hitting errors for Notre Dame. That's what cost them Game 1 and cost them down the stretch in Game 2.
Trojans and the Irish, good crowd on hand. Can Notre Dame come back? Do they have Anthony Davis waiting in the wings? We'll find out.
Mariel, you and I have always been big fans of professional hairstylists.
You bet. I adore mine.
And I bet he feels the same.
But you know, I have to admit something.
Yes?
When I see those scissors coming at me, I just want to grab them. I love to change my hair. Thank goodness I trust my hairstylist completely. And the truth is, I feel great about my hair because of him. Well, and of course, Paul Mitchell, I wouldn't think of using anything else. Yeah, you and my hairstylist, you made me what I am today.
Do you want your car done right?
Ein sehr gut entwickeltes System für einen Ölwechsel.
現代的なオイルチェンジの方法はジフィーループを使うことです。ジフィループ is sehr efficient.
ジフィループをもう一度ください。That's a very good reason to bring your car to Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
We got experience. Jiffy Lube.
Along with Paul Sunderland, I'm Chris Marlowe, back live at the Lions Center here in Los Angeles, California. USC leading Notre Dame in volleyball, 2-0. We await the start of Game 3, and of course scouting does take place in women's volleyball. Laura Asper, a former great for Stanford University, now an assistant coach. And you might think, hey, she's scouting USC. She's not. She is scouting Notre Dame because Stanford thinks it's going to the Mideast Regional.
Exactly right. Exactly right. A lot of speculation still as to where Stanford will go. That'll be decided tomorrow.
She's trying to hide.
Yes, Laura, we're scouting you. Tag, you're it. And Don Shaw obviously feels that chances are he is going to the Midwest Regional. But I wouldn't be surprised when I go down to Montgomery, Alabama tomorrow to find somebody down there from Don's staff scouting the Southeastern Regional.
Well, certainly a scenario could happen if Florida happens to lose the Southeastern Conference Championship, which will be played tomorrow night, and Illinois wins its remaining 2 matches. Illinois could move up ahead, and they could send Stanford down to the South Regional. Heck, they could send them anywhere.
Yeah. It's a very complicated formula that the coaching board and NCAA staff use in order to choose where teams are filled out and in which brackets.
Let's just clarify one thing. If you don't know what we're talking about, the NCAA has said if the 2 top teams in the country are from the same regional, that they will send number 2 somewhere else, so 1 and 2 have a chance to meet for the national championship.
Yeah, as it should
be. It's a compromise for regional seeding.
Yep.
Instead of national seeding. And so Notre Dame, we know that the Fighting Irish will be in the Mideast Regional, seeded 4, 5, or 6, somewhere in that area. That's a very well-balanced regional.
It is.
Every team is good in that regional.
Nobody jumps off the charts. I've seen Nebraska, seen Penn State, I'm seeing Notre Dame, I've seen Colorado, don't know Minnesota, I've seen Ohio State. A very well-balanced group. Is Illinois a spectacular team? That remains to be seen. Penn State beat them earlier in the year. In the South region, hear an awful lot about Florida. Their only loss to UCLA. Texas is right up there, LSU and Kentucky. I think in terms of depth, the Southeastern Regional is not as strong as the Midwest Regional.
Sue Peters gets the block off the bat. The Trojans get a point. Well, if you're talking about depth, then the Northwest Regional is certainly
very
weak
shallow.
also.
Very shallow, but I think that between the Northwest and Southeast region, they are probably pretty comparable. You got Long Beach State, Pacific, UC Santa Barbara make up the top 3. Cal Poly San Luis Obispo having a good year. Then we're talking Montana, Idaho, Hawaii, a perennial contender.
Yeah, but
for the
Hawaii's
national
only about
championship.
500.
I know, down around number 7. They've had just a slew of injuries this year, and Dave Shoji obviously very frustrated by a frustrating, I should say disappointing season.
Molly Stark, number 6 in blue, junior from Scottsdale, gets the tip for the Irish. 1-1 game 3. USC leading this match 2-0. Live volleyball here on Prime Ticket. Wagner over the top with the big boom. Mika Wagner, let's check her stats. She has 8 kills.
That's not enough. You can see the physical ability of Mika Wagner, and can you remember the last time she was set? Hadn't gotten the ball in a long time.
1-1. And inside the block, the ball pounded out of bounds by Nicole Coates. So number 1 hits it out of bounds, and USC will have it. And Bocelli can't control it. Goes over her head out of bounds, the Irish. And Molly Stark, much improved player. Molly Stark hitting .263. She's hitting .424 in conference, however, so she's getting better and better. Always better to pick up your stats in conference. And the skyhook by Sue Peters, no good. Ever since Kareem retired, the volleyball officials don't let that play go anymore. It used to be you could throw it all over the place. Not anymore. They've tightened up that specific rule. Peters, good fake there. Still 2 blockers get out. That's a good fake by Peters. Looked like she was going to dish backwards.
Well, good scouting by Notre Dame, knowing that USC is in only a 2-hitter rotation and spreading their block accordingly.
USC has it, and Wagner to serve. And the quick set going right by Jessica Feeblecorn, puts it away. 6 kills for Feeblecorn. The Irish hoping for much, much more. She had over 20 kills. Let me see, hit 315 times this year as Coates will jump it up.
Tough serve.
Very nice. Give her an ace as nobody can get there for USC. So Nicole Coates racks up her 39th service ace this year, the leader on the Irish. She could whack off about 5 in a row. That would help out, huh? Another good one. Into the net. We were talking to Lisa Love, USC's head coach, before the match. She said sometimes we just go flat. We were flat against Arizona State. You really can't do that against them. They are a very, very good team.
And a team that's coming on.
Yes,
and a team that's hungry.
If you're going to be a great team, you can't afford lapses. UCLA this year, they're a great team. They don't let down. They just crunch you.
If they have an average outing, they beat you 3 straight, 7, 8, and 9. And if they really want to come out and thump you, it's 2, 4, and 6. Just a dominant team.
Quick set, Peters inside, too far.
Yeah, the right back players, Sue Peters and then Cisa Bocelli, a couple of rotations before, are getting caught way too far into the court. When you're playing defense on one of the wings, right or left back, you got to stay right on the sideline, then you keep the ball in the play in front of you.
Nice quick set. Doug Beal, the 1984 Olympic coach that built the United States program into a gold medal winner. He used to stress that all the time. Stay on the sideline, play perimeter defense, and move the ball into the court.
Well, right there, Coach is in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
But can't get her hands up. If the ball's hitting you in the face, you know you're in the right spot defensively.
Maybe she's in a little too far.
Yeah, a little bit.
Irish have the ball. Irish leading 4-2, game 3. This part of a series, the Irish and the Trojans in volleyball, it's going to continue as Bocelli is dug. USC, Peters, back set. And Bocelli, she never looks like she's on balance. She kind of lumbers in there and kind of unravels. 6'5".
Not jumping very well right now, to my view, and not aggressively into this match.
I don't think she jumps much. I don't think she's a leaper.
Right. I'm not talking about height. As you said, off balance. Maybe jumps, not that much in terms of altitude, but get yourself together physically and unload on the ball.
She has a Marlowe-esque kind of a jump.
No, she's got to even be higher than that.
No, not much. Be a battle. Little tip shot goes down. Cynthia May. And Sue Peters running the attack, whispering to Wagner. Usually when they whisper to the middle blocker, here it comes. Let's see if she sets Wagner. Yep, of course. Dug backwards. Haller with a dig. Chalk up another one. And Keebler is dug. Nice defensive play by Jessica Feeblecorn. And the Irish put it away. Nice.
Coates coming through on the left side. Notre Dame playing better and better defense. They were nothing the beginning of this match defensively. Not one long rally, and they've been much improved since that time.
Lisa Love has revived the USC program. Of course, you remember USC with 4 national championships, but then the program went to ruin a bit with the firing, I think you should say, or the leaving of Chuck Irby.
They had a couple of disastrous seasons.
Yes.
Controversy, injury in 1986. Yeah. USC was 2-32.
That was a beauty, wasn't it?
After years and years of very high-level performance.
Yeah, a lot of questions about the USC volleyball program. Lisa Love was brought in to clean up the situation, and she has done just that. She is also the associate athletic director, and she is recruiting well. She has built a top-level program. And this USC team, I was looking over their roster, Paul, they're going to be excellent next year. They'll lose Peters, and they'll lose Bocelli, but they have strength at all those positions. Used to be able to fill in. They have McCaw, and she's going to have a good recruiting class also.
Yeah, Laura Warnock is gone out of the middle number 7, but Lori Eust, who was a starter all last year and a fine one, all Pac-10 freshman team, will be right back in the starting lineup.
A little left-hand cruncher. Peters jams and jellies. Nice point for the Trojans.
Of course, the focal point